Hello, thank you for inviting me to speak to you about how work, education and training will need to change to enable Scotland to transition to net zero. Technological change and climate change are the two major factors disrupting our economy and society today, and they will continue to do so for decades to come. Workers and employers will need to be supported to develop new skills or adopt new business practices to compete and thrive and to keep pace with change. We cannot afford to leave individuals or communities behind. Many employers tell us they're struggling to identify the people with the right skills to help them tackle climate change and grow sustainably. Shortages of green skills are a major barrier, especially in renewable energy, construction, manufacturing, energy efficiency and renovation and resource efficiency. We believe we need to launch a green skills revolution. The prize is to create new jobs in the new green industries of the future right here in Scotland, raising wages and living standards, boosting productivity and attracting inward investment as a result. The International Labour Organization estimates that the transition to net zero could generate up to 60 million jobs worldwide in the next 2 decades. The UK government has set a target of creating 2 million green jobs across the UK by 2050. New and emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, AI, automation, the Internet of Things, and big data analytics are already becoming part of our daily lives. We all need to learn to use and to make the best use of these technologies in this fourth industrial revolution. Technology can remove the dull, dirty and dangerous tasks and give us information about our buildings and infrastructure to help us make the right decisions about doing things differently. We need to understand climate change and carbon emissions and equip ourselves with the right skills and tools to live, work and play in a more sustainable way in our homes and communities, in our classrooms and workplaces. Carbon literacy and digital literacy are becoming core skills. That's why we're calling on all schools, colleges, universities, training providers and employers to embed core green and digital skills across curricula, professional learning and work-based learning. Ensuring everyone has access to opportunities to reskill or upskill throughout their lives and careers is critical. Reskilling involves learning new skills to retrain, change job or career, or transition into a new sector. For example, a former retail worker retraining as an insulation installer. Upskilling involves developing or enhancing existing skills to progress up the workforce value chain and increase productivity. For example, a teacher building their knowledge of sustainability to embed climate change in children's learning. We're calling for everyone in Scotland to have a right to lifelong learning and equal access to credits which they could use to fully or partially fund education, training or other learning opportunities. It's especially important that there are more bite-sized learning opportunities by unbundling traditional 4-year university degrees or 2-year apprenticeships into short modules. 78% of adults want to play a part in reaching the UK's net zero goal. Young people are especially committed and want to make a personal and professional contribution. Companies are starting to realise that a commitment to carbon reduction will help them attract talent into their business. We'll also need more funded or subsidised green apprenticeship and employment opportunities targeted at young people, particularly those young people who face higher risks of being negatively affected by the economic crisis, like Kickstart and the Young Person's Guarantee. We've all had to learn how to do things differently during COVID. Many of us have had to work from home for months, while key workers and frontline health and social care workers have shown remarkable resilience and skill to protect our NHS and save lives, or keep our shops, supermarkets, pharmacies and schools open and our businesses and trains running. More flexible and home working will become the norm, even after vaccines are rolled out and restrictions ease. Many of us won't return to the 9 to 5. This should be encouraged where it is possible and is the right thing to do, as it will help reduce the need for travel and our carbon emissions from transport, especially commuting by car. Our environment cannot afford a car-led recovery from the crisis. We'll all have to change our behaviour and walk and cycle more. Enshrining a right to work from home in employment legislation can empower workers to work in a way which is best for them. Businesses will need financial support and advice to adapt and recover, but this support, whether it's loans, grants or bailouts, should be linked to clear action and plans on reducing their emissions. However, working from home should be a right, not an obligation. Not every job can be done from home either. Those of us with enough room and without children to homeschool have had it easier, but technology or lack of it can reinforce inequalities. Quality, sustainable and affordable housing is so important. People on lower incomes may be in crowded accommodation or have caring responsibilities. Hybrid working has placed greater pressure on women who traditionally take on more of the caring responsibilities. Lockdown has been a real struggle for many in Scotland. It's up to us to start thinking and planning how to make sure the transition to net zero is a period of change which brings social and economic prosperity for all. Thank you.